Hi, I'm Ron Dunning. I'm a computer science and software engineering student at Gull Lake High School with the Career and Technical Education program. And today we're going to do a walkthrough of PC Building Simulator. So I'm in the middle of a career game right now. I'm at level 3 and I have about $1,400. And this is my little shop here. We took it over. The story is that we took it over from our uncle and that it's our business to run now. So I start the day here at this door. And then this is where the PCs that are shipped to me, they come in right here, and they have little sticky notes and cards to tell me what the job is. And then this is where my packages are placed when I order parts online. So here you can see that I ordered a 1050 Ti EVGA graphics card. I have a Ryzen 5 CPU and an i7 CPU, and so those will add to my inventory automatically. I already have a PC set up here. This PC needs a better graphics card so it can run Sail Away, the sailing simulator. So we're going to start by clicking on this PC to work on it and clicking cable so we can connect these cables, the HDMI cables, the power cable, so we can get the computer connected to the monitor. So we're plugging in the graphics card and plugging in the keyboard. And now we're going to press power. You can see the fan start moving. And we have our boot up screen. Well, that's a ridiculous sound. I didn't expect that. Alright. We're going to use the Will It Run program that I purchased in this game. And we're going to try and run the sailing simulator, and we're going to see what kind of specs we need to run it so we can get those pieces for our customer. Alright, so as you can see, we have a Radeon R9 graphics card, and it's recommending a 1050, and so that was that 1050 Ti that I bought, and it had just come in the mail. So that's what we need for this game, and this is, like I said, what we have right now. So we're going to go ahead and install the new graphics card into this PC. We're going to click install. Actually, we're going to remove the old one first. And we're going to start by unplugging the graphics card and then removing this case part, the PCI lock that locks these ports in place. We unscrew it, and then we're going to click and hold to remove the old graphics card, and then here's a little screw we have to undo. Alright, so the old one's out of there. We have an empty graphics card slot right there right now in that PCI slot. We're going to go to our inventory through install, and I'm going to sell the old one, the used one. And this is the 1050 Ti that we're putting in for the customer so he can run his sailing game. Oh, first we have to unlock this bolt, it looks like. Maybe? Maybe not? What's going on here? Alright, let's try and remove this bolt. I think that we're missing a part out here or something. Huh. Alright. Maybe it takes up 2 PCI slots. Maybe I'm tripping. Alright. Let's go and remove the second PCI slot. Let's just see what happens. Okay. Okay, yeah, I was right. It takes 2 PCI slots, whereas the last one took 1, so not quite sure about that. But yeah, there it is in there. We just screwed it in. I think we have to return the PCI lock or the cover, one or the other. Let's see which one works out. Maybe let's do the PCI lock. Yes. Put that back on there, screw those back in there. We shouldn't need that second PCI cover, the one that we took off. So then we'll plug it in the graphics card HDMI cable. I believe it's an HDMI cable, but I know it is a graphics card cable. And we're going to power it on. See if it can boot. Alright, we finished our last objective. We booted to OS, so that's successful. We're going to remove these cables and put the front of the PC case back on, and then package it up for our customer. Get it out of our shop. Click and hold like all the other parts. Screw these case locks back in, these little twisties. And we're going to exit so we can go ahead and grab this PC and place it out here to be shipped. Alright, what do we have next? We have upgrade CPU and boot to OS. They usually always say boot to OS. That's just a requirement because obviously if you're going to be doing work on a computer, you want to check that it's going to boot to OS before you ship it back to someone. So it always says boot to OS as one of the objectives. This CPU, I believe, I can't remember if this is the Intel or the AMD CPU that we're putting in this one, so I'm going to return to my email and see which one it is. Well, first, this is what we just completed. We just completed the new GPU installation for the Sailway sailing simulator customer, so we can collect that. It'll give us a little review of how he felt about our service. It'll send us some money for any parts that we spent, any labor that we spent on it, and that'll go straight into my cash credit. So I can discard that email. I think this is the one we have right now. This guy wants an AMD in his. Let's see if this is the one on the desk. Okay, it's not the one on the desk, which means that this one is the Intel one. Alright. This guy's budget was around $400, I think, for his CPU. So I got him an i7. Alright, we're going to start by removing the air cooler, but if you see a little red bit while you're trying to remove something, it means you have to remove that bit before you can remove the bigger piece. So taking off the air cooler, opening the CPU shield, and taking the old CPU out of there. His old CPU was an i5. Install, we're going to put that new i7 in there. Right here. Click and hold, and we can't forget the thermal paste, or else the customer will not be very happy if we forget the thermal paste. So just one little pea-sized dot there. Alright, and then we can close that CPU shield if it'll let me. Let's see if it'll let me. There we are. Okay, next is to put that CPU fan back on top of the new i7. It makes me do this little rotating situation. And I think maybe it plugged in that wire automatically for me. Or maybe I have to click cable. Oh, yeah, there it is. Click cable, let's plug this cooler back in, and then to make sure it works and boot it to OS, we have to do this every time with every computer. Plug in the PSU, plug in the keyboard and the mouse, and plug in the graphics card. And then we can boot this guy to the OS. As long as he works, that's it for this build. And we'll be able to ship this one out. Alright. All completed with that horrible boot up sound. Alright, let's remove these cables and put the side of this case back on and put it back out for shipping. Alright. Pick up this PC. Alright, and I think we have one more left to do? No, two more, I believe. So we'll go to the computer this time so we don't switch up which PC we need to work on and which PC needs what. So let's find the one that we just completed. Alright, so this is all green, so we just completed this one. Collect our money. Pretty good review. Made some good money. Let's move on. Next, we're going to do the AMD installation for the new CPU. We'll do that one. Lots of new parts today. We installed a new graphics card, and we're about to install a total of 2 new CPUs. So, not much removing viruses. We usually have a lot of those tasks. All right. These air coolers are always so funny to me. They're so clunky and ugly. Oh, I gotta remove that top bit first. If I can get to it. There we go. Alright, let's get that air cool off of there. Alright. AMD Ryzen CPUs have a different CPU shield configuration than Intel's do. This one comes with just a little iron bar that locks it into place, whereas the Intel CPUs have sort of metal cages that close on them. I like the AMD Ryzen build better. It looks cleaner to me. But not my PC, is it? Alright, so let's put the new CPU on there. The Ryzen 5. Close that bar. Let's put the cooler back on. This part always gets me. Alright, there it is. Plug the cables back in. Reconnect that air cooler. Lastly, like usual, let's boot it to the OS. Plug in all my cables. Alright. Alright, there it is. So, objectives complete. We can remove these cables, put the side cover back on, and we will be done with all 3 PCs. Alright, that's it for that one.